Now, a lot of people think that rich people just stumbled into finding some successful company or got a handown from their rich parents, and that's how they became very wealthy. However, 80 to 90% of millionaires are actually self made. So, what if I told you there is a way to get rich without getting lucky? And I will tell you this in the form of a few Twitter threads by Naval Ravikant. So, in this video, we're going to discuss some of these key concepts that Naval talks about and how they actually influence your wealth journey and can actually help you get wealthier. So, first, we'll start off by I'll tell you who the hell is Naval Ravikant. So, Naval Ravikant is a venture capitalist and a very well known one in the industry. He was an early investor in the likes of Uber and Twitter and has founded some of his own successful companies such as AngelList. Now, concept one, seek wealth, not money or status. Wealth is having assets that earn while you sleep. Money is how we transfer time and wealth. Status is the place in the social hierarchy. While most people say they want to get rich, what they actually want is status and respect. The majority of people are chasing money and status when instead they should be chasing wealth. People get fancy jobs with fancy titles to buy fancy toys and live in fancy houses. Most people are pursuing the money and status that comes with that job. Most people buy things they don't need with money they don't have to impress people they don't like. So, as the saying goes, nothing will make you go broke faster than trying to impress others. And the problem with this, right, is that it triggers lifestyle inflation. Now, lifestyle inflation is the concept where as people begin to make more money, they start spending more money. So you're not really creating a savings gap there. And you kind of get into this lifestyle or this rhythm of keeping up with the Joneses. You see that this person or that guy has this car, that house, goes on this kind of holiday. And everybody gets into this sort of competitive game where you're all trying to outdo each other. Now, these people are not rich because they're using their money to purchase status, not wealth. They are buying liabilities, but not assets. This is why 36% of people who make over $250,000 in America still live paycheck to paycheck. Rather, wealthy people buy assets and not liabilities. Wealthy people use their money to buy assets that make you money while you sleep, like stocks, real estate, or an entire business. This is when you have stopped trading your time for money. A truly wealthy person isn't just someone who drives a fancy sports car, but it's someone who has assets that produces cash for them while they sleep. And you don't have to be ridiculously rich to be able to buy all these assets. You can start off by buying a small business, investing in a company, or by starting your own real estate portfolio. Now, the second concept by Naval Ravikant kind of ties in with what we just talked about before, which is you're not going to get rich renting out your time. You must own equity, a piece of a business to gain your financial freedom. Now, think of the city you live in. The richest people are not the doctors or the lawyers, nor the highly paid salespeople, but instead it is the owners of the successful businesses that these people work at. Some of the wealthiest people in my city are the ones who own their own businesses. Because even if you make $200 an hour, it is impossible to become truly wealthy because the amount of hours you can work is limited. To get rich, you must move on from being an employee to a business owner. This doesn't mean just going out and starting your own business, right? But if that's what you aspire to do, then obviously that's what you can go on to do. Now, to start making money from a business, you must own equity in the business. So the most common way to gain meaningful equity in a business is by receiving stock compensation as part of your payment package. Now, it is quite common that in some industries, workers, like junior year workers, when they start working, not only do they get a salary, but they earn a stock-based compensation package. And this is extremely beneficial because even if you move on to work somewhere else, you are still part owner of that business, meaning you're entitled to a cut of that company's profits. So this essentially means you're getting paid for money, you're getting paid money or getting paid for work that you did in the past. Now, an exceptional example of this is billionaire Charlie Munger. Now, when Charlie was much younger, he used to be a lawyer. He was a practicing lawyer. And Charlie got to a point, right, where he realized that his most valuable client or valuable asset was actually himself and the service he provided. So he leveraged this, right, to a point where instead of getting paid cash, right, for the work he done, which means if he got paid cash, he would get that cash and that's it. That's the only payment he's going to get. What he instead did is that he actually asked for a piece of equity in the business that the clients he was working for, right? So this gave Charlie a big advantage in the sense that as life went on and Charlie moved on to other things he was doing in his life, he was still getting paid for work that he done many years back because he still had that equity in those businesses. Now, the third concept by Naval is that you will get rich by giving society what it wants, but does not yet know how to get at scale. So the key word here is at scale. I like to look at extremely wealthy people as master problem solvers. They found a particular problem in a certain niche and fixed that problem at scale. So this means distributing the solution to tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or to even millions of people. Now, look at these examples here. Some of the richest people in the world. For example, Elon Musk. Elon sells Teslas to millions of people around the world because there was a demand for people who wanted electric cars, and Elon found the problem, provided a solution to that problem, and delivered on that problem at scale. And even look at here, Sergey Brin and Larry Page. They founded Google, the biggest search engine in the world. Now, these guys created a software that is used millions of times per day by billions of people. Or the founder over here of Microsoft. Bill Gates and his team created a plethora of office suites used by everyday people for work purposes and even personal problems. Now, the key here is that all these people managed to deliver the solution to a problem at scale. Now, this is the art of being a master problem solver. It can make you a billionaire. If you ever look at some of the most successful companies in the world and wealthiest people in the world, a lot of them got to that level of wealth through business. And what their business did is solving a problem. Now, the at scale part is the true differentiator because it is the reason why the founder of Walmart became a billionaire and not the owner of that small business at the grocery store. Now, the more people you are able to provide with your product or service, your wealth increases in proportion. Now, the fourth concept here is that you must pick an industry where you can play long-term games with long-term people. Think about the relationships you can build and act in the same manner as compound interest. Now, compound interest in wealth building terms is the concept where when you first get started, it's difficult to get going and accumulate large amounts of wealth. But as time goes on, right, you must think of your wealth as a snowball. As time goes on, as you continue rolling down the hill, that wealth gets bigger and bigger and bigger. For example, a real estate agent with a lot of experience has a large and extensive clientele they have built from their early stages of their career. So this gives them that advantage and opportunity where the people they used to work with back in their early days have gone on to refer them to other people, and those other people have gone on to refer even more people. So which means the people they have done business with are giving multiple referrals, which extends their clientele, which means the clients they're getting in the future is coming from previous work they did in the past, which can obviously help their services and grow their real estate sales portfolio. So this also applies to an agent's contractor as well. A real estate agent works hand in hand to a contractor. And if that contractor is doing a good job and helping out that real estate agent, that agent is likely to refer that same contractor to other real estate agents. However, this concept only applies to growing industry. So you cannot practice playing long-term games in an industry that is in structural decline. For example, the newspaper industry, because at the moment we're not even sure if this industry is going to be around in 20 years because we are currently living in a digitalized world. So the fifth concept I would like to talk about is this: arm yourself with specific knowledge, accountability, and leverage. Now, Naval defines specific knowledge as the following: specific knowledge is knowledge that you cannot be trained for. If society can train you, it can train someone else and replace you. Specific knowledge is found by pursuing your genuine curiosity and passion rather than whatever is hot right now. Building specific knowledge will feel like play to you, but will look like work to others. When specific knowledge is taught, it is through apprenticeships, not schools. Specific knowledge is often highly technical or creative. It cannot be outsourced or automated. Now, part of the reason specific knowledge is very important is because, as he said, it cannot be easily replaced. And the way you can actually gain this specific knowledge is through apprenticeships. So by this, Naval means through experience. Now, naturally, when you're working in the industry or doing some things, there are just certain things that can't be taught based off theory or in the classroom. There are just certain things you learn from experience in that industry. So a great example of specific knowledge is Warren Buffett. Now, Warren Buffett has a knack in investing, capital allocation, temperaments, and ability to manage Berkshire Hathaway. Now, if you look at the single skills that Warren Buffett has, they might be highly replaceable, or not say replaceable, but it is possible to learn, right? But it's the combination of those skills that makes Warren Buffett indispensable, because some of those things he's learned, the knowledge he's developed, and the skills he has developed have come from experience in his industry. Now, the risk of investing in Berkshire Hathaway is that once Warren Buffett stops being the CEO of Berkshire, whoever replaces him may not be able to replicate what he does. So, as I was saying before, you can kind of think of specific knowledge as a way of, as a group of, right, as a combination, sorry, of skills and knowledge that other people may not have. So if you look at yourself, right, and you look at the skills and knowledge that you have, other people might have those skills and knowledge, but what makes you unique to other people is the combination of those skills and knowledge. So embracing your specific knowledge comes with combining what you have as your own unique and individual person and trying to monetize that. So the next part here is to embrace accountability. So embrace accountability and take business risks under your own name. Society will reward you with responsibility, equity, and leverage. The most accountable people have singular public and risky brands: Oprah, Trump, Kanye, and Elon Musk. So take Elon Musk here, for example. Elon has built a reputation across his entire career as somebody who's very accountable. He's embraced his accountability. So much so to the point, right, where I think if you were to take away all of Elon's wealth right now, his entire net worth, in a few months, he would become a billionaire again, because there would be thousands of investors just throwing their money at him, begging him to start a new company, because he has embraced accountability by delivering on what he says. Now, the next part here is leverage. Fortunes require leverage. Business leverage comes from capital, people, and products with no marginal cost of replication, code, and media. Now, the sort of leverage I'm talking about here isn't your typical leverage. You may be thinking of leveraging through debt financing. However, the sort of leverage I'm talking about here is your input multiplied by your leverage equals your output. And you can think of your output as the money you make. Now, to become very wealthy, you must focus on the leverage aspect. For example, if you look at YouTubers, right, like Mr. Beast here, a YouTuber goes through the time and effort of creating a video once. But once that video is created, it has the opportunity to make the money for the rest of their career as long as that channel is still up. Or if you look at people in software companies, they provide code and software that they only have to make once, but they can sell over millions or billions of times. Now, a area that's not as leveraged is somebody like a plumber. When you're a plumber, right, you get paid based off your service. Once you complete a job, you get paid. Now, the problem of this is that it's not so highly scalable. For you to get paid, you have to complete a job, and there's only so many jobs you can do within a day. So, to build large amounts of wealth, you need to focus on the leverage aspect, right, and how you can increase that leverage. If you compare a laborer, right, to the construction manager, they both may work 8 hours a day, but that construction manager could get paid more for those same 8 hours than the laborer did. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this sort of content, please feel free to like and subscribe and comment down below anything else you may want to see. And if you like the threads posted by Naval, they're actually still up on his Twitter account till this day. So go ahead and follow him and read through all the threads he's got. Now, only he posted a lot of these, but I just broke it down to the 5 important concepts that I think is applicable for us today. So yeah, if you want to hear more from Naval, follow him on Twitter. And thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you in the next one.